Underneath linked numbers, you will see the phone number that you use to create your account. Where it says new linked number, you will click here to add the phone numbers for your whole team. You do this so that way each team member can share the responsibility of answering the phone. So let's say this week I'm going to be responsible for any parent who calls our Google Voice number. It will go to my phone. And then next week it will go to the ELA teacher's phone. And then the following week it will go to the science teacher's phone. That way it's not all on one person to carry the responsibility of answering the phone calls. So you're going to click on new linked number, type in that phone number, and repeat the process of sending the code and verifying that phone number. Once you have your numbers created for all of your team members, click on Messages on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, now that you have your phone numbers added, click on Calls. And here is where you can set up who is going to receive the forwarding calls. If you have all of the numbers selected, then everyone will get the phone call, and whoever answers first will talk to the parent. If you want it set where a specific number gets it, then scroll down and uncheck whoever you want to turn off, and then whoever is left green will receive the phone calls for that week. And then you can just go in, maybe for your team you decide you just want this one person always receiving the phone calls, or maybe you want to change it every week, every quarter, however you want to set that up for your team is completely fine. And then you just come back into the settings, go to calls, and turn that number off, the next number on. So now that you have it set up for who's going to receive the phone calls first, let's talk about Do Not Disturb. If you'll scroll down, or you can click here on the left-hand side to go straight to it, but you'll see Do Not Disturb. So at one point in the legacy setting, when Google Voice first came out, there was a way for you to schedule the Do Not Disturb so that your phone wouldn't ring on the weekends, or it wouldn't ring after 3 o'clock, or you could set it up to schedule the Do Not Disturb. Google Voice has since updated their platform, and they took that feature off. So the only way to get features like that, anytime you see where a company has upgraded something and they've taken away a feature that you really liked, the only way to get that back is for you to submit feedback. And if you send them feedback saying, I really want this feature, the more feedback they get on that, the more likely the developers are to put that feature back into the program. So for Google Voice, right now that feature is not available. So you can either ignore the phone calls that happen, and it's not like you're going to be bombarded with them after hours and on the weekends. And you will have your number saved in your phone. So whenever that number pops up, you'll see that it's coming from a parent. It will, like for Fierce Bears, we're working on Fierce Bears right now. Anytime a parent calls Fierce Bears, it's going to pop up on the teacher's phone as Fierce Bears. So the teachers can choose to not answer it if they know that it's a parent. Or you can come into the settings and you can turn Do Not Disturb on, so that anytime someone calls, it's going to go straight to the voicemail. Now, you can leave it on Do Not Disturb, so that way it always goes to the voicemail and you're always calling the parents back. That's fine too. Or you can come in and you can turn it where Do Not Disturb is on during office hours, or Do Not Disturb is off during office hours, and then you turn it on after office hours so you don't have to worry about getting the parents' phone calls at night or on the weekends. That's completely up to your team. You talk about it, decide how you want to handle that. All right, so now let's talk about the voicemail. So if you click over on the left-hand side or just keep scrolling, you'll see that it's right there. You want to create a voicemail. So you're going to record a greeting. And you can have multiple greetings and choose when, like if it's on the holidays, thank you for reaching for your spares. Unfortunately, this is after office hours, or this is Christmas break, or whatever. We'll get back to you whenever school is back in session. We'll get back to you on Monday morning. However, or you can just have a generic voicemail. I would be sure to say, you've reached the Fierce Bears, your team name, the teachers who were on that team. Please leave a detailed message, including your student's name, first and last name, and the nature of your call. Because if I just call and say, hey, this is Sally, I need for someone to call me back. Well, now the teacher has no idea who is Sally, who is her kid, what is this regarding. If it's not pertaining to my class, there's no need for me to call back. It might be a social studies question. So then the social studies teacher needs to answer. So make sure whenever you click record a greeting, you include, please leave your child's name and the nature of this call, and we will return your phone call as soon as possible. And if you go into manage all greetings, you can see any voicemails that you have set up. You can change them, all that fun stuff. Everything under here this doesn't charge you. That's just for international phone calls and stuff like that. We won't be doing that. So all that's set up so you don't have to worry about it. One thing I do want to mention, if you click over here on calls and scroll down, you'll see where it says screen calls. This will be set automatically, but what will happen is when this is turned on, and it's automatically turned on, you can choose to turn it off. So your phone will ring, it will say your team name is calling, and when you pick up the phone, you will hear the parents say their name. So when they call, the phone will ring, and then the phone, Google Voice will say, please state your name. So they'll state their name, so you'll know who's on the phone. Now, they may not say, this is Sally, little Johnny's mama, but you'll know who that person is whenever they call, if they choose. And we know that some parents are just going to sit there and not say anything. But in case you see that notification, that's what that's for. So this is how to set up your Google Voice. If you have any questions about that, you're confused about the process or whatever, just let me know. I'm here to help you. I would love to help you get this set up for your team.